My name is Keely, and this is Ariane. We live in very different parts of the UK, but we have one big thing in common. We're both pigeon fanciers, which means we breed, train, and look after our very own racing pigeons. Racing pigeons are amazing. Unlike ordinary pigeons, they're specially trained to find their way home from hundreds or even thousands of miles away.
Oh, like there's 3, 4, 5? I think you beat me.
Each year, the fastest and most beautiful are entered into the UK's biggest pigeon show, which is held in Blackpool.
Blackpool is where I make my mark. I'm excited and a bit anxious.
Ariane and I both want our pigeons to qualify and maybe even win a prize. But before that, there's going to be a lot of hard work. My name's Keely, I'm 15 and I live in Marlin, in Northern Ireland. I've lived in Marlin for all my life. I know most of it off by heart. I live just around the corner from 25 relatives and I have 170 pigeons. I'd say my earliest memory of pigeons was going into the pigeon club with my dad and grandma when I was about 4 or 5, and I remember just having this big box of sweets every single week.
We are very proud of Keely in our short spell in pigeon racing.
They have to be cleaned out every day, you have to feed them every day, it's so much work. Some of my pigeons have flown home from as far away as Wales, England and even France. But in this race, they have to find their way home from Cork.
Did you pull any feathers out of them?
My dad and granddad's pigeons are also taking part.
So on Friday we would feed them very little because we want them to be that little bit extra hungry. So that means they can come home faster so they can get their food.
Pigeon racing is full of little secret tricks that help you win.
The boys and the girls are separated. That means they are so excited to get back home, which makes them go faster and come home and win, hopefully. I love the racing season. The pigeons get handed over. Dad and Grandma can't put my birds through, so I have to do it all myself. It's mainly an older men's sport, so when I joined, I hoped to bring girls into it more. I tried to make my mark by just winning everything. So this lorry will go to all the different clubs. They'll drive for about 5, 6 hours to go to Fermoy in County Cork. And then tomorrow they'll let them off.
Here are my pigeons being released with thousands of others, and they all have to fly home to their own lofts or sheds. This is called a liberation. But it is not just in Northern Ireland that we love pigeons. The sport is popular all over the UK, and in Rochdale, Ariane is also busy training his birds. He hopes some of them will go to the Blackpool show too.
My name's Ariane, I live in Rochdale and I'm 12 years old. We're in Rochdale, there's a load of parks and a lot of places to go bike riding with each other. I love pigeons a lot.
We let them out so they can get used to where they live. And then as soon as they land, that means it's feeding time.
Ariane has 70 pigeons, and just like pigeon fancying is in my blood, it's been passed down through his family too.
My family, they're actually fascinating people to know about and what they used to do. My granddad was in World War II. He had to use pigeons for messages. When the war finished, he actually come home with 7 baskets full of pigeons. He bought himself a shed, and that's how it all got passed on throughout my family. This is a 1,000-mile pigeon that can go all the way to Portugal and come back.
This pigeon, his name is Mr. Blobby because he's a bit more cheekier. This is a nice hen. She's got 10 flight feathers. She might race next year because she still needs training.
He trained her from 7 o'clock in the morning.
was your favourite today?
The 09 hen.
09 hen, yeah?
The blue hen.
What about yours?
Same as him.
Same as him? And what about your special pigeon?
Real magic.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's fantastic to just see them coming back to the place where they live. There's a pigeon there. There.
Pigeons can even recognise their owner's voice.
Come on.
The little coloured rings on pigeons' feet record the moment they return home. When they're racing, this lets us measure how much time is taken to complete the race. Back home, I'm waiting for my pigeons. I hope they don't get lost. It's a long way. But they're smarter than we think.
Pigeons are really intelligent. Still, nobody understands how they get home. Some people say it's the magnetic fields in the ground, but some people say it's built in sat-nav. But there's been research poured into it, but nobody understands it yet.
Something's wrong.
So the pigeons made their way home from Cork in about 3 hours, but they wouldn't land because they were scared that there was a sparrowhawk flying about.
It's the sparrowhawk. It's still around.
Well, I don't know where it is, but the pigeons can see it. That's why they're not landing. Which is bad for us because then we're losing time.
Much like my whistle. You have to learn to whistle.
My granddad just turned 86 at the end of July, and he's a role model for me. He's taught me everything I know really about the pigeons. He's taught me how to look after them, how to care for them, how to treat them when they're sick. He's the main man when it comes to the young birds. He taught them everything.
Thanks, Keely.
He's taught me how to be kind and generous. He's taught me how to help people, which is really good, and I really thank him for that.
One of Dad's pigeons got home first today, so he beat me this time.
We got the first one in, and the next 3 were Keely's, so she's got to take something out of that.
But
I'm happy enough I beat her, so.
I think the way my granddad, my dad and I have an easy relationship is because we're just basically all the same person, just in different forms.
Dad, Grandad and I have a deal that whoever loses has to make tea. Today it's my turn.
Dad beat me by 15 seconds.
Come on,
Champion.
come on.
I'll be back in a minute with something to eat.
Thank you, dear.
At the end of the racing season, fanciers can enter their very best pigeons into the show in Blackpool. I'm entering 35 birds and I've picked the ones I think will impress the judges.
No matter what you win, you always want to win Blackpool. That's the key.
Hard competition though.
It's harder competition, and that's what Keely's striving for. So hopefully this year she's got the birds.
Yep. Blackpool's really important to me. It's a main event. It's what we've been looking forward to all year. And I just feel like Blackpool's where I make my mark.
Ariane and his pigeons have also arrived in Blackpool from Rochdale. In this show, the pigeons aren't racing. Instead, they're judged on their appearance and health.
We're currently fixing our pigeon. We're making sure all our feathers are straight and our tail straight. You have to make sure your pigeon is in pristine condition, and you have to make sure all the feathers are not broken, because if your pigeon's feather is broken, you can't fix it. They're looking good. Some of their feet are just a bit dirty, but overall they're looking really clean, which is good.
I'm excited and a bit anxious because it's my first time showing at Blackpool.
The judges pick the best 10 pigeons in each category and award them special certificates, which are called cards. Winning a card is the best feeling ever.
Oh, I like this one. This is a wee hen that won loads of cards for us in loads of different shows. I'd say she's one of my picks for winning something, at least a card.
So I've got 15 in, and now the judges are gonna look at them and pick which one's a good one. And I'm so excited for tomorrow to see the results.
There's nothing more we can do now. It's all down to what the judges think.
My name's Peter. I'm judging the young fanciers birds here tonight. I like to see that all the feathers are in nice line. The tips should be all nice and round. feet nice and clean, under the tail here. And the body, you hold it like this, that's how they should be. If the tail goes down like that, then it's a weak bird and it's not very good.
The competition is really tough, but hopefully the judges will like our birds. Next morning, and we're all very nervous when we come back to find out the results.
258, 258. I didn't get nothing. This one's another. No. Yeah, no, we didn't get anything this year.
None of Ariane's pigeons have won anything.
I feel all right because it's my first time. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to try again next year.
Now it's my turn to see how my birds have done. It's as nerve-wracking as Dad as it is for me going around the pigeons because we've both worked so hard at them for so many months. I hope we've done well.
He's second in the 400 mile class. Just seen us.
Oh, we've got this one.
Yes.
I've just got a second here with a young hen. I thought she was going to get something. This is when I pointed out to Dad and Granda. I'm really happy she got something.
How are you getting on?
I got 4th. Well, that's really good. I got way more cards than I hoped for, and I can't wait to tell my granddad.
How many cards you get today?
12. 12 overall. That's the highest we've ever got over here. But is there anything I should look out for when I'm picking my birds for next year's show? It's Peter Bogan.
There was quite a few like this.
Yeah.
And it was just, you see those marks there, they're what we call fret marks. Somewhere along the line, it's been scared or
Oh, really?
something like that, yeah. And that's called a fret mark.
I never knew about that.
No, well, there you go. And that is the reason.
Oh, I didn't get higher.
Other than that, if you looked after this, it's very, very good. It would be lovely to see a load of children in the show. The older people like myself, we're passing away, we're getting old, we can't afford it. Now the youngsters should come in and we can then carry on this sport, which is a lovely sport. It really is.
I know how disappointing it is when your pigeons don't win anything. So I want to encourage Ariane not to give up. At the start, I wasn't getting any cards anywhere until we figured out how to get the right birds together. You have to get a certain combination and you have to sit and breed them until it gets down to the perfect pigeon.
That's one of mine.
It's nice, it has a bit of height on it.
Yeah.
I think your birds are actually really nice. It's just, it depends what the judges, what their preferences is, what they want. And I've got a little surprise for him. So I have a few in this class, but there's one bird in particular I want to show you. And it's got cards every single year. So this is it here.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Isn't it really nice?
Yeah.
Now, seeing as you didn't get any cards this year, someone started me off, so I'm going to start you off. This bird, it's one of my favourite birds that I have, and you can tell she's beautiful. So I want to give her to you. So if you come back to next year's show, I want you to enter her.
All right.
Is that okay?
Yeah, we appreciate that.
She's going from Northern Ireland to Rochdale. So hopefully she'll get you up the front next year. Hopefully I'll get up the front next year as well with you. I've had a great time in Blackpool, and so has Ariane. And to top it all, I've won the UK Young Fancy of the Year award. I can't believe it. It's a dream come true for me.
So if I can ask Keegan to come to the stage and collect a trophy for the Lion Arrow.
So I've just got my awards and I'm so happy with how it turned out. The weekend's just been amazing. I really hope to continue on my family name and I hope I do the sport for years to come. Pigeons are a huge part of my life and have helped me meet loads of amazing people and have some really fun experiences. Being a young pigeon fancier has taught me lots of important skills, but the best thing has been spending so much time with my dad and granddad and making them proud that I'm carrying on the sport we all love so much.